Today, I have the privilege of speaking with Jesse Cole from the Savannah Bananas. This is probably the most inspiring stories I've ever had the opportunity to record on the podcast. You will hear about Jesse's story, how they started with his wife, where the Savannah Bananas are today, and also what is their side project, leveraging everything they're doing with the Savannah Bananas. Enjoy my conversation with Jesse Cole. Hello and welcome to the new episode of the Business of Meeting podcast. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot believe it myself either. I'm speaking to the legend, the man himself, the guy who started with his wife up from absolutely nothing, the famous Savannah Bananas, who's inspiring so many people with his management lesson, with his care for the fans. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Jesse Cole. Jesse, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you. I want to get you as an announcer for some hitters this year at the game. I think you'd be perfect, my friend. Thank you for that great intro.
Well, you deserve it. And I already experienced the banana throw when we were with MMT there last summer.
Yes. You got to see it. Amidst even the chaos of rain and challenges of what we try to do to put on a show.
It was phenomenal. It's just all the different things you're doing, but we're going to talk about it. First thing first, Jesse, it's always what people say. It's an overnight success who took years in the making. They don't see the hard work. They don't see the pain. They don't see the doubt. They don't see the grit, the persistence. When did all that start?
Well, that started from my learning from watching my father. I think a lot of people, your parents can become really good role models. And I was an only child. My parents were divorced. My dad raised me, worked all day, would get home, would take me to the baseball field. We'd play all day, help me with homework, and then get up in the morning and go work hard and take care of me. And I watched it every single day and taking me to the field. And we would get so many hours at the field working. And so I learned right there. It started, what does it take to put the effort in to create something special? So I started, my dad used to tell when I was a kid playing baseball, the first time I came up to bat in T-ball, my dad yelled out, "Jess, swing hard in case you hit it." And I was like, and he tells that story, but literally and so that mindset of my dad kind of swinging hard, going for it, putting the work effort, I really learned that. And then really got into the baseball industry, played baseball my whole life, played in college, tore my shoulder that end of my career. And just like that, I had to figure it out. And so that's when, fortunately, I fell into working the front office. And that's really where the journey started. But that was 15 plus years ago of building something to where we are now.
Well, I'm sure you're not the only kid who unfortunately got a shoulder torn, cannot pursue their athlete career and then find a job. But when did the idea started of creating your own team and the whole story of the Savannah Bananas?
Well, I first, before Savannah, I had 10 years with the team in Gastonia, North Carolina. So I became a GM at 23 years old. And the only way you get a GM job at 23 is it has to be one of the worst teams in the entire country. So it was like, hey, take it. So I got this great opportunity. And there was only $268 in the bank account that first day. And there were 3 full-time employees. And the team had lost $100,000 the previous year. So I had to learn fast. I couldn't pay myself for a couple of months. I had to figure out how to get people excited about coming to a baseball game, which was much harder than people anticipated, especially the lowest level of baseball. So we started that with the Gastonia Grizzlies that literally just started doing crazy things, grandma beauty pageants, flatulence fun nights, pregnant nights, giving away diamond rings, you name it, we tried it. I got in the dunk tank, had our players do choreographed dances. And I started seeing it. People were excited because we weren't in the baseball business. We're in the entertainment business. Mm-hmm. I think that's a question everyone should ask. The business that you think you may not actually really be in that business. And so 10 years of building that. Then my wife and I, we had an opportunity in Savannah, Georgia. So we went there. She surprised me after I proposed to her in front of a sold out crowd. With our team in Gastonia in the yellow tux. She said yes, thank goodness. She surprised me with a trip to Savannah. We went there and there was a minor league team, New York Mets affiliate playing there, a couple hundred fans, and they left. They couldn't get a new stadium. And we said, we'll take it. Savannah is beautiful. This is an old historic stadium. Babe Ruth there, FDR gave a presidential address there. You've been to the ballpark. And so we said, we took it on and we took it on. And unfortunately, we got there. I was scared. I didn't do what I was doing in Gastonia. We came in and I didn't have the yellow tux. I was trying to sell like everyone else because I wasn't taken seriously. So I tried to do it the way I shouldn't have done it. Mm-hmm. And yeah, Eric, we only sold a handful of tickets in our first few months. And by January of 2016, we had overdrafted our account, and Emily and I had to sell our house, and we were sleeping on an airbed and literally grocery shopping, which was $30 a week. And so, that was 7 years ago.
Wow. And at that moment, I'm thinking, what an amazing spouse and partner you have that believe in your dream and ready to do that, and selling the house, living on an airbed.
Yeah, I mean, Emily, that's a whole nother podcast. She's truly amazing. And, she started in the industry and understood it. But yeah, I think it starts with a vision. I think so many people, even in your family, does your family have a vision of what you're trying to do, what you're trying to go, what you're trying to accomplish, but especially in business. And, we had a vision. We really believe we could make baseball fun and change the game and create something that people have never seen before. And we had this vision going into Savannah, and she was just believed in me, but probably believed in the vision of what we were trying to do. It's like, you know what? We'll go down to our last dollar. If we can just get people to see that first game and see what it's about, it's going to work. And she was the rock for me every single day, because it was tough. It was really, really tough as, making this move to Savannah and having no support.
What did you do at the beginning to bring the fan to the stadium? And did you test different things? And what was the feedback?
Well, it was all bad feedback until they came out to the first game. I mean, so the way and I share this, often, but so many companies are focused on just getting customers, chasing customers. We became obsessed very early on about creating fans. There's a big difference. We named the company. I used to have a name for the company. It was terrible. Team Cole & Associates. Sounded like a law firm, like something just in an accounting office. Like it was a bad name. We asked that one and we said, well, who are we serving? What are we about? What do we stand for? And we said, fans first, entertainment. That's who we are. We are in the entertainment business, and we're putting our fans first. So we named the company that. We said, all right, what are all the things that fans hate about an experience at a baseball game? Well, you get nickel and dimed. You come in, you pay for parking, you pay your ticket fees, your convenience fees, your service fees. It's $7 for a burger, $5 for water, et cetera. We said, well, what if we had no ticket fees, no service fees? We pay our fans taxes. And what if every ticket's all inclusive? And we said, what if? And that's a great thing I learned from Walt Disney. And he's one of my biggest mentors, read every book. What if? And so we said, why don't we just try it? And so we did that. And people were like, oh, well, even if the game's terrible, at least we got a good value out of it and all your food's included. And then we said, people hate boring baseball games. What if our players did choreographed dances? What if we had a breakdancing coach? What if we had a banana baby that we lift before the game and sing, nah, Savannah, nah, he. We celebrate the banana baby. What if we had a pep band? You don't have pep bands in baseball games. Football games, you have them. Basketball, you don't have them in baseball. So we said all those things that would add to an entertainment. What if we did that? And we just tried. And the more you do, the more you test, the more you learn. So that first game, everything went. I mean, our team was wearing green uniforms because we weren't quite right, because we were the Bananas. We named ourselves the Savannah Bananas, which got tons of criticism. We made 6 errors. It rained, but the Bananas went out in the field and danced, and fans lost it. Then our players deliver roses into the crowd to give them to little girls in the middle of the game. And people were like, wow, I've never seen it like this. And we went all into that experience. And then lo and behold, after that day, people told everyone we didn't have to do marketing anymore. We just shared what we were doing, and people started telling everybody.
And it started like wildfire. When I saw the last summer, you were like, it was impossible even to talk to you one day. One interview after the other, ESPN and something. And then you look at all the struggle and when you are today, what is going into your mind when you were doing this ESPN show?
Yeah. So again, it's one little thing turns into other things. And, one idea of saying, hey, we should have our players dance turned into the breakdancing coach, turned into our twerking umpire, turned into dancing in the middle of the game. I mean, one little idea, if it works well, you could put the gas on it. So with ESPN, there was one article written about, hey, this team has created new rules for baseball. And we tested this 4 years ago because we said, hey, people are still leaving our games early, even though every game is selling out. We said, we need a 2-hour game. It's boring when the hitters step out of the batter's box at the 15 seconds between each pitch. Let's keep in the batter's box. Walks are boring. What would be the opposite of walk? Could we have them sprint around the bases and the players got to throw the ball around and try to make a play at second or third? Like, we try that. What about if fans could catch a foul ball for an out? Could that happen? And we tested all these rules and we said, let's do it. So ESPN saw that there was this crazy little team in Savannah doing this test, and they wrote an article and it did very well. And so then they said, oh, could we have SportsCenter do a feature on that? So then they brought out this amazing producer team, David Ballinson. And one day he said, I've never seen anything like this. He goes, there's something bigger here. So he did the great SportsCenter feature, did well. And then we went to ESPN and said, hey, we got an idea for a show. And they said, we've never done anything like this. You're not LeBron James. You're not Derek Jeter. You're not Tom Brady. This is not like you're just a little tiny. And I remember I was sending videos to the people at ESPN, hey, believe in us, don't bet against us, we can do something. And we were rejected by about every other production company before that. And finally they said yes. And they came down and they, for the entire series, the tour, they covered us at Banana Ball. And it was one of the highest rated shows and still doing very well to this day. And then that, again, led to more things and Today's Show and CBS Sunday Morning and HBO Real Sports. And again, we've never focused on the media. That's not why we do what we do.
Right.
We try to bring fans together to create something they've never experienced before and bring joy and fun. And so that's just a byproduct. And I think when you have fun, people are hungry for fun these days, Eric. We want it,
totally.
Starving for it. And that's what we try to deliver.
Totally. And at the beginning, when you were doing those new rules of baseball, what was the feedback from the other team? They look at you like in a very condescending manner. They didn't pay attention.
Yeah, I mean, traditionalists have never loved what we do. I mean, traditionalists, this is the way the game is supposed to be played. But, there was a long time in the NBA, there was no 3-point line. There was no 24-second shot clock. And a lot of sports evolve. And the reality is, I believe we're in a TikTok world and they get entertainment on our fingertips. And that's where the world's going. So we got to be able to deliver that. So if you're not getting criticized, you're often playing it too safe. And so when we start getting a little criticism or, people lean in and say, this isn't how it should be done, I'm like, all right, well, we might be on the right path. So yeah, traditionalists struggled with it. I think overall about the new rules, they're like, this isn't how baseball should be. And I said, it's not for you. So many businesses, whether you're running events, whether you're running a restaurant, so many people are focused on who they are for. Sometimes it's very clear to understand who you're not for. And when we knew that we are not for traditionalists and that we are solely for making baseball fun and nonstop entertainment, we can create our entire experience to be that. And we can lean in even more on what we stand for. And that's really helped us.
And I'm sure at the beginning, maybe not easy to recruit players. And now everybody's knocking on the door to be part of the team.
We had a session. So we got the whole team to show up that first year. We literally had a session telling them how to handle the criticism of being called for playing for a team called the Savannah Bananas. So we're like, guys, you're going to get asked from the media, like, how's it feel to play for a team named after a fruit? And we had to actually build them up to help them be prepared because it was tough. But then we said, well, we're just going to show the fun. And we started sharing content over and over again. And yeah, the players at first were very skeptical. But then once you show a guy doing a dance on the field and it gets 1 million views on Instagram or TikTok, they're like, oh, yeah, we'll do that again. Let's do that again, Yeah. And the thing is, especially young people, follow the recognition. So for instance, if what you recognized, continues and happens again. So a lot of times, baseball games, people are, oh, you got a double, you got a triple, you got a home run. And they've seen it. That's a double. We recognize when they do fans first things. For instance, Brian Encarnacion, his first game, 2 kids came up to him and asked him for an autograph. And he said no. And I was like, what? And he got down to his knees and said, only if I can have yours first. He handed the kid his Sharpie and signed his hat. And now our players have kids' signatures all over their hats. One player, Michael Deeb, he gets his entire jersey signed by kids every single game. So there'll be the biggest line for him because he's getting his autographs. And so we recognize that. We celebrate that. We tell those stories. And now those players get more recognition than the guys that are hitting the doubles, the home runs, the strikeouts or whatever. So that's what we focus on, is recognizing those fans first moments that create moments that people will never forget. And that's been really special to building the storytelling in our organization and building kind of our people up to make a difference.
And when you start with that, then I'm sure the players coming themselves or the team or the staff that's working in a stadium, how often they come to you and said, Jesse, why don't we try this or why don't we try that?
Ideas are everything, man. I have an idea book every single year, so I get a new one. And so I've been writing 10 ideas a day every single morning for now 5 or 6 years. And wow. I don't miss a day. So if you do the math, that's 16,000 terrible ideas, really bad ideas, but there's a few good ones in there. And so the reality is quantity leads to quality. So we've built an idea culture. So today I've done alone 2 different idea sessions, one with our entertainment group and one with our marketing group. And so we'll come up with a theme and then we'll each come up with 10 ideas alone. So that we're building all these ideas. We're building our idea muscle. And so now, yes, I have people every day come up to me. Hey, what if I come up to bat with a boa constrictor around my neck? I go, that sounds extremely dangerous. I'm open to it. What if I come up to bat with my bat on fire? What if I skydive into the mounds before I pitch? Okay, all right. What if we do this dance at second base in the middle of the game when And all these ideas, and even just another, Kurt came up to me and said, "Hey, Jesse, I want to show you what I did." Not an idea. I was like, "What?" He goes, "You know, those rusty drains we have at the stadium, they're all just rusty." I go, "Yeah, I know. He goes, "Well, look what I got." And he showed me, he got custom banana drains. So like these little silver drains for the water going, and they're all hundreds of tiny bananas. They're 1% of our fans will notice them, but that 1% notices something about how we care about, making even the littlest things matter.
Yeah, and I remember being there with Jason Gaignard and MMT, and how you are taking care of people, how you are always focused on people, but not only you, the people that work at the stadium, and the surprise all the time. I linked it to, and sorry for the comparison, but it's entertainment. I remember years ago when I was in the International Board of MPI, we had this meeting in Cancun, and we went to the Cocobongo. Something was happening every 2 or 3 minutes, something was happening. And that's exactly the feeling I had. So, story I wanted to share, I'm getting to go to an ice cream, speak with the people there, and I come back, and I see toddler on the grass, on the field, and mothers screaming at them. So, can you explain what it was?
Yeah, happily screaming. They weren't just yelling.
No, of course.
Yeah, so that's our toddler race. So the world's slowest race. So yes, we had all toddlers that couldn't walk, that could crawl, but because it rained that day, they just sat there on the grass and they weren't even moving much. It literally was the world's slowest race because there was zero movement. And that's what you call a promotion that didn't go as well, but the fan reaction was still pretty good because you got these 1-year-olds that are trying to figure out what to do in front of a sold out crowd. And it's just one of the ideas. Yeah, I mean, we have, that was one of our buckets that we did the other day, even more toddler promotions and senior citizen promotions. And we come up with all these ideas that hopefully will bring joy and fun for our fans.
Yeah, and I went to see Miami Heat a few weeks ago, and I saw that they had now, I don't know how you say in English, the dancers.
Yep.
You have the senior team, which I have never seen before going to the Savannah Banana. So people are imitating you now.
Yeah, the simplest concept that we look at is whatever's normal, do the exact opposite. I've learned personally that normal gets normal results. So literally when we were selling, marketing, doing us, we were on our airbed. So it was actually worse. But when you start thinking of whatever's normal, do the exact opposite. So normally you would have a young dance team. We have a senior citizen dance team. Normally you would have female cheerleaders. We have male cheerleaders, the Bananas, which is the dad bod cheerleading squad. Everything we try to do is think of it in an opposite way that then creates even more storytelling, excitement. And, we want people to leave our ballpark saying, "You wouldn't believe what I saw tonight. You wouldn't believe what happened at the Bananas game." And if you create that, not just the Bananas, but any business or hosting an event, like if you create that, like, "Hey, you wouldn't believe what happened at this event. It wasn't just a speaker. It wasn't just a panel. It wasn't just a networking session. This is what happened." And then no matter what the content is, you're going to get people that want to come back for the community, the experience, and being a part of something that's different.
You're absolutely right. And what you say about people wanting to have fun, I can only concur with that. Is there a framework or is there a limit? Or are you thinking about, oh my God, in this world of wokeism or being afraid of offending everybody's almost sometimes, Good Morning America, what are we going to be offended by today? Is there always something in your mind saying, the more we do, we're not going to take care about this. We're just going to go and please the fan and do something fun?
Yeah, I think when you keep things simple, we make baseball fun. That's what we do. And so when you know where we're coming from, what we're spirited in, who we are, I don't think people get offended by things. I mean, yes, do we have Dolce & Banana underwear, which we literally sell underwear with a banana on the crotch? And, that's a little crazy. And, there's things that get to the line, but it's all in spirit of this team that's out there just having fun and not taking itself too seriously. So, but yeah, I think I understand why companies, I understand why businesses and leaders think about all the things that can, be perceived as wrong or more, but that's not us. We're just trying to do what's best for the fan.
And I look at your journey, you and your wife, Jesse, that really, again, I'm so admirative of what you've achieved. And it's only the beginning. But going from sleeping on an airbed to today, you doing a world tour of the Savannah Bananas. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Yeah, everything we do is starts with a small bet and starts with experimentation. So, I learned this from Jeff Bezos as well. He said our success is a direct function of how many experiments we do per year, per month, per week, per day. Constantly experimenting, constantly inventing. So when we realized that baseball was too long, too slow, too boring for too many people, we said, well, we're going to test this new game. So we tested in Savannah. It went really well. So we said, could we test this on the road? And so we did a one city world tour, which is ridiculous when you think about it, a one city world tour. But we did it in Mobile, Alabama, out of all places, and we sold it out, 7,000 tickets. And from there, we're like, all right, let's go to 7 cities. All right, let's not just play our other team. Let's play another team, see how that goes. All right, now let's go to a Major League Spring Training home. Now let's go to Cooperstown, Hall of Fame. Now let's go to 12,000 seat stadiums, 15,000 seat stadiums. Now maybe we should go to Major League parks. Where else can we play a game no one's ever played before? And so these questions, we keep asking this, what if, it keeps pushing us to do new things for our fans, which keeps it exciting for our fans and keeps us relevant. So yeah, now we're 33 cities. The wait list is crazily over 500,000.
33 cities.
33 cities, yeah.
And you said the wait list, 500,000 people.
It's over that right now, yeah, which doesn't make any sense. It's absolutely crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. So now we've added dates. We're doing everything we can, and that's why we're looking at Major League stadiums and trying to do everything we can to take care of our fans.
Do you think you're going to motivate the Major League Baseball to change the rules of the game?
That's not something I spend any time thinking about or bandwidth thinking about. We've built some great relationships with the major league teams, and I think our goal is collective. They have the best baseball players in the world. That's not us. We hopefully have the most entertaining banana ball players in the world. And so we're two different products, but are we trying to do things that's great for the game? Yeah. And are we going to work together in the future? 100%. We've already done some stuff. They've come and created content at our games and put it on at the World Series, and they've done some really cool things with some of our players. So, but yeah, if it helps the game better and a few of these ideas we can work together on, I'm definitely open to it.
For those who don't follow you yet on LinkedIn, I really encourage them to do that. You have this 1-minute video where you share stories and management tips, which I love. But this morning, particularly, the story about the 500,000 tickets, the fans are waiting. But you post something that really resonated a lot with me. You were offered $1 million by secondary market players, I would say. And having been working myself in a great ticketing company with blockchain and everything in the past, I can relate to what you did. So could you explain a little bit why you refuse to sell them the tickets and why you keep focusing on the fan?
Yes. So it's happened in the past. We've had different ticket resellers, secondary market groups reach out to us. Hey, we want to buy tickets from you guys. It's how, because of the demand, we want to buy tickets. And we've always said no. And now it got to a level that one group offered to buy a huge amount of group tickets for every single game on our tour, over 90 games, which is $1 million plus ticket order. And they basically said they would charge us, or they would pay us twice what our tickets are. So our tickets are $25, pay us twice. So which would equal about $500,000 in profit to the team, no extra work. And it was a no-brainer decision for me. No, not even close. Not even think of, I didn't even, no interest. It was not even something that I would think about, because that's not how we do things. And, we've never been about money. Walt Disney said this best. He said, money doesn't excite me. My ideas excite me. And I'm the same way. I get excited about creating great things for our fans. So the name of our company is Fans First Entertainment. For us to do that, to literally hurt our fans so they could potentially, because again, it's not only twice they'd be selling it for more. To hurt our fans goes against everything we stand for. And the fact that we're already seeing tickets go for 10 to 20 times face value hurts me more than people know. There's nothing I can do about it at this point, but I know I can say no to every opportunity that someone's doing it. And when we find tickets are being scalped, we often try to cancel the tickets or talk to the people and find out what's happening. We're not about the money. We've never been. I don't know what's in our bank account. I have no interest in knowing what's in a bank account. Our president tells us we're doing fine. I am focused on trying to create fans and create a better experience. And when you're focused on long-term fans over short-term profits, the business takes care of itself.
That's brilliant. That's actually what Ed Sheeran did in Europe.
Yeah, tell me a little bit more what he did exactly.
So he used, and I'm not with CKTX anymore. I left 30th of November, but he used the technology, the blockchain technology, to make sure that the fans don't have to pay more than the face value of the ticket. And because of blockchain and the smart contract, you can basically say you cannot resell this ticket more than the face value, or more than 10% of the face value, for instance, to cover your cost. And you can also see where suddenly you could say you can buy 6 tickets max, and then suddenly you see that somebody owed 50 tickets, and then you go, there's a problem there, and you can take action. But the reason I was mentioning Ed Sheeran is because he also was fighting what's going on in part of the ticketing industry to focus on the fan. I see all the kids that were there. I'm sure that if they have to start paying $500 per ticket, you're not going to be able to do that. I brought my family to New York. We went to some shows. I would not even tell you how much I had to pay per show. And I was happy to do it because, it's once in a lifetime. But it's all about creating experiences. So going back to you and to what you're doing, what is the dream now? What you have the 33 cities tour. Do you want to go outside of North America? What is the ultimate thing? And don't tell me you're going to play baseball with Elon Musk on Mars.
I appreciate the question. I understand the question, and it's something that I do think big about, and I do dream big, because obviously that was something that Walt did all the time. But the reality is, I never would have dreamed we're doing what we're doing right now. I never would have dreamed that we're playing all over the country and going to be playing in major league stadiums. Like, I was a kid that hoped to get drafted by the Red Sox and get that phone call in the 42nd round. I knew I wasn't going to be an early draft pick. In the 42nd round, the Boston Red Sox select. And I envisioned that over and over again. And it never happened because of my shoulder. But now to have, today alone, we talked to 2 major league teams. And, every day we're getting these proposals about us bringing our whole entire show to a major league stadium, which is so much bigger than one person. We travel with hundreds of people. We bring everybody. And to look around and see 40, 50,000 people, that's special. So that would be a dream, but I know that's just the beginning. I really believe we're in the first inning. And I think when you're not chasing money, you're not chasing these. I don't ever want to chase something that I reach it and then I feel sad because it's over. I want to keep doing things and building and growing and chasing those moments, chasing the energy. And I tell this all the time, like, follow your energy. What gives you energy? And for me, it's getting in front of the fans. It's dancing with the fans. You saw me in Savannah. I'm just running around. I'm a part of it. That is where that fires me up. So if I can do that all over the world in places people have never imagined a baseball game with people that never seen it, I would be living my dream. And that's what I'm going to continue to try to do.
You talk about Walt Disney. You talk about probably also about Barnum.
P.T. Barnum, yep. The noblest art is that of making others happy. That is his quote that he said, not that the sucker should born every minute.
Say that again?
So he said, the noblest art is that of making others happy. What many people say that he said, which he never said, his actually rival in the circus said, there's a sucker born every minute. So I have an unbelievable amount of respect for what P.T. Barnum did as well, in addition to Walt.
Wonderful. And I know you're very busy, so allow me 2 last questions. The one I want to ask you, you said, I don't want to know what's in the bank account. I'm focusing on the on entertainment, on the fan, which is wonderful. What is your advice for people in terms of surrounding themselves with the right people? Because obviously, somebody needs to take care of the money and needs to take care of the budget. If not, there's no more project. How do you select people? How do you recruit people? And how do you define the type of people that you need around you?
Yeah, I think a big aha for us was to attract over recruit. When you really share the vision, share who you are, what you stand for. I get on top of the mountains and say, this is what we are, fans first. This is what we believe in. And then we share all the content. Am I proud of our 500,000 wait list for tickets? Yes. I'm more proud of a wait list of 3,000 if people want to work with us. That wait list of people want to work with us, because that's something that makes us proud. And then we're very clear. So if you want to surround yourself with good people, be very clear on what you stand for and what your vision is. We share our vision all the time of where we're going, what we're trying to do, what we're trying to accomplish, who we are. And then that attracts the right people. And you share that vision, then they can start kind of following that vision. A lot of companies, especially leaders, I'm one guy too, like I can jump from thing to thing to thing to thing, but I stay clear on where we're going, and that keeps our company going in the right direction. So, we're very clear. We don't look for a resume, we look for a future resume. We're not interested in what you've done in the past. We want to know what you want to do in the future. Again, going towards our vision. We want to see a video cover letter. Do we want to be around you? Can we feel energy coming from you? Are you excitable? We want to see a fans first essay. How do you fit our core beliefs? We're very intentional on our hiring process to make sure you are a good cultural fit. And we've only had 2 people leave us in the last 6 years. And they both gave us 6 months and 1 year notice.
Amazing.
Which is crazy. I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. I posted that on LinkedIn. People are like, oh, that's wrong. And I'm like, no, like, I don't know. They really wanted to put us in a good spot, and we made sure to keep paying them and taking care of them. So
did you say you had a bench of 3,000 people waiting to work for you?
We have a wait list. So on our website, you can go to employment, and it's a wait list to actually join if you're interested in joining the team. So yeah, at least it was on recently. I don't know if Marie, our Fan's first director, is still, it's come so high that we aren't able to really do much with the group right now, but we're hoping at some point we can continue hiring.
Fascinating. Amazing. Jesse, I cannot go to the last question without referring, first of all, to my shirt that I have today of the Savannah Bananas MMT, and also to pay tribute to Jason, thanks to whom I know you, and ask you the champagne question. When we meet again at MMT in a year with a bottle of champagne, what are we going to celebrate?
Yeah, I love that. So what people don't know is that, yes, we had the dream of what we're doing with the bananas and taking this all over the world, but Emily and I are also foster parents. And so we have a 1-year-old foster baby, a girl that's amazing, and another daughter that's 4 years old. And the goal is always reunification. So you always want to help them get back into their regular family. However, that unfortunately there's been challenges and they haven't had that opportunity. So we have been taking care of them for 2 years, and they've been a huge part of our family. So I would hope that in a year that we're celebrating that they have officially become a part of our family. And then at that same day, we're also announcing Bananas Foster, our nationwide nonprofit that's helping awareness and help celebrate and inspire more foster families all over the country, because there's 500,000 kids right now who don't have a permanent home. And we did it, and that's this craziness, and we hope more people can do it as well. So nothing with the bananas other than Bananas Foster, but I hope that's what we'd be celebrating.
I'm speechless. I'm so admirative of what you're doing, of who you are, you're the poster child of the American dream and doing good with passion. Jesse, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today and share your story. Wish you and your wife and the Savannah Bananas all the success and more. And I can wait to see you again in the future.
100%. You're one of my favorite people. I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you. Jesse, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me, and more importantly, for what you're doing, for sharing those stories and inspiring people. I'm totally admirative of everything you're doing. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to connect with me, please go on LinkedIn or join my Facebook group, www.eventbusinessformula.com/group. And if you enjoyed this conversation, please share it with your network. Thank you. Bye-bye.